everybody. Did you just witness that strong sisterhood and electrifying energy? Want to know what it's all about? How it all happened? Who made it happen? Well, soon you will. Today, I'm thrilled to introduce you to a thriving sports, wellness and fitness community of women, by women, for women. Yes, you heard that right. Founded by two lovely ladies, this organization called Sisters in Sweat started in 2017 with just 17 curious women all eager to learn football. And 6+ years later, they have over 6,000 members, all learning various sports, not just for competing, but for the pure love of learning something new and being part of an all-girls rocking tribe. We're here to meet the co-founders of Sisters in Sweat. Can't wait to meet them and find out more about this growing community. Here we are at the lovely home of one of the founders of Sisters in Sweat, Shweta Subaya, and with her we have Tanvi Hans, the co-founder of Sisters in Sweat. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having us. Yeah.
So let me begin by asking you both, did you imagine that this is where it would reach today, that you would have so many takers for something like this, for a concept like this?
Absolutely not, because we never intended to start a community or get into training women to play sport recreationally. That was never part of the plan. So just to take you back to the genesis of Sisters in Sweat, Tanvi had just moved back from the UK after her stint playing there in the English Premier League. I'm of course from Bangalore. I've lived here for most of my life. And when Tanvi moved here, I was one of the few people that she knew.
Partners being humble. She's one of the finest fitness coaches that we have in the country. Especially, she's been a pathbreaker as far as women in this industry have been. I made a move to Bangalore because the football scene here, even back then, I felt the pulse of it and I knew that it would be a better place to be living than in Delhi. In November of 2017, she introduced me to her friend Shanali as a footballer. Shanali got super excited and said that, hey, why don't you and Shweta teach me and a few of my girlfriends how to play football?
And so we booked a ground for the following Sunday. I expected maybe 3 or 4 girls to show up at best. But to our surprise, on that Sunday morning, 17 of our friends showed up. I was shocked out of my mind.
After that first session, the women enjoy themselves so much.
We all went out for breakfast, of course.
Yeah,
so it was a nice morning with your friends.
They had such a good time that they want us to do this for them every weekend. And that's literally how it started, and that's what snowballed into what you know as Sisters in Sweat today.
Wow. So when did you start charging?
Actually, it was for the whole 1.5 years we didn't charge. What we did was we just split the ground fees. It was at the end of the first year and a half that we decided, okay, let's start collecting a small coaching fee. And then thereon, we decided we needed to set up a website. And that was our first little investment into the business. That's when we started thinking of this quite differently. And then, said, okay, maybe we should set aside our daily jobs and focus on building this community.
Right now, what are your respective roles?
Tanvi takes care of all the communication pieces that go out, the whole
the creative stuff. And also the operations, like the football sessions, basketball sessions, all that stuff.
The finances, the legal, unfortunately, has fallen into my lap.
All the serious stuff is in your lap.
But funnily enough, she's the most serious one. I'm the less serious one.
What are your product offerings? You started with football, right? But that's not all. Now there's basketball and other sport as well.
We have a variety of formats. Obviously, we have, like you mentioned, football, basketball, badminton are offered at the beginner level and intermediate level. Then we obviously have a run club as well, swim sessions which we've outsourced to instructors that are experts in that particular field. We also from time to time do events. We do tournaments obviously in the various sports that we offer. We also have sort of ventured into taking trips, active holidays. We've done a trip to Andaman, we've done a few treks, and we're looking to expand that vertically.
It would be great to hear from some of these women actually directly about how it's impacted their lives. So we actually attended one of the training sessions and had a chance to meet some of the members there. Let's hear from them directly.
I've been wanting to be a footballer since I was a kid. When I graduated, I started looking for places where they can coach girls like me, but I couldn't find any place like that. Instagram gave me a notification about Sisters in Sweat. I thought that let's give it a try. and you can say it was love at first session.
I've always played sports, starting from school, college. I played football, basketball and hockey. This was a main sport. Played for the state and got married in 2004. Then life took over. So stopped playing for some time. Got to know about Sisters in Sweat in 2019 and got my life back.
Recently, I've been joining up for basketball a lot more. Whenever I skip school or like if we have holidays, that's when I get to spend time with mum.
Sisters in Sweat helped me a lot in my mental health. Earlier, it was some episodes which used to happen weekly. Anxiety, panic attacks, but now it doesn't even happen in 6 months. It was all just self-talk and coming to SIS sessions.
You know, a lot of groups, mostly like male groups that you get to play with. You don't really get an all-female like group, and I feel like it's a lot more comfortable to play with girls, just on a physical level, for me at least.
It's a great bonding time for us. Yeah, we fight a little, right? Get a little aggressive, but end of the day, it's good.
She's my role model. I'm so grateful for the way she's brought me up. She's grown up being an athlete, playing sports, and so it's nice to see her relive that moment again.
2, 1, go Sisters! So we've heard from some of the members about how it's impacted their lives. How has it impacted you all on a financial level?
We are bootstrapped in that, Tanvi and me put in a little, very small investment 4.5 years ago. We've been profitable since. We have chosen to reinvest all that profit back into the business because we see a long-term perspective on this. We've grown by 25% in revenue year on year, so it's been very promising. Our real intention is to minimize the barriers for women to participate. Money is a barrier because we do charge for these sessions. So we've always tried to keep that at a minimum just so that they can self-sustain. Where this business really earns money is through our brand collaborations, because brands see our community as a good target market to sort of bring their products to it. Last year, 2023, we had a really cool collaboration with Nike. We partnered with them around Women's Day. We brought the Sisters in Sweat Fest to the Nike store.
So one of the coolest campaigns or collaborations that we've ever been part of is with Manchester City. Back in 2022, we had multiple activations with them around this campaign called Same Goals. So they tied up with us, the only community that they tied up with in India. We had a clinic that they organized for us. They flew down a Manchester City coach who held this, and while the clinic was going on exclusively for our women, the Premier League trophy, which Manchester City had recently just won that year, arrived during the session with 2 security guards, and we had the benefit of a private viewing.
Go Sisters!
4 of us was flown down to Manchester City to witness the women's derby match, which is Manchester City versus Manchester United at the Etihad Stadium.
That's how it should be, man. Women's football.
Yeah! Are you looking to scale the business? Are you looking at expanding? Do you have global expansion plans? What can we expect to see in the pipeline?
I never thought of the global market until I had friends, family, travel to Bangalore, spend a few weeks here, attend our sessions, go back, and they were like, hey, there's nothing here in Washington, DC, there's nothing here in Australia, there's nothing like it here in Singapore, there's nothing like it here in Dubai. So I know that there is a global opportunity for sure. Right now, of course, we have our eyes set on India, and that's a big enough market to deal with. Right now, we're 2 cities. By the end of the year, we'll be at 3, if not 4 cities. The first city that we moved to was Mumbai. Mumbai has been a very good learning market for us. We'll probably do our first event in Delhi in March.
So what I personally really want to know is, how does this whole concept or idea aim to be inclusive for everyone? The great players don't usually like to play with us less experienced ones.
Nobody is going to be upset with you because you didn't sort of kick the ball right or pass right, It's always an encouraging, celebratory atmosphere. So that's a part of the guidelines that we set for all the coaches that come on board, that it's got to be inclusive.
And we actually had a chance to speak to one of the coaches as well to ask them how they specifically design these programs to make it suitable for everyone.
Ball moves from 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4.
The sessions, obviously, we do split them apart into the beginner sessions and the intermediate sessions for most sport. So that already separates the level of play that they're at. But if we do have people come in that maybe aren't as fit, we'll always provide regressions for them. And then if an intermediate girl wants to come into a beginner session, we'll always provide progressions for her so that everyone is working at their own skill level.
Can you share any interesting anecdote when it comes to Sisters in Sweat?
So just a few weeks ago, one of our members told me that she lost her husband about a year and a half, 2 years ago. And just as an ode to him, because he was a football fan, she wanted to start playing football. And now she's one of our most regular members. So she feels connected to him through the sport. And to be able to do that for someone, to sort of feel a loss of theirs with that kind of feeling, I think, obviously when she told me, my eyes teared up.
One that comes to mind is with regards to Shonali. Her son, who is, all of maybe, 3-4 years, I think, when she started playing, he would watch his mother lace up every Sunday morning to play football. A few months into, this, Tanvi was playing a tournament. Shonali took her son to watch the tournament. He asked, "Mom, do men also play football?" Which I thought was a wonderful thing.
Tanvi, you've mentioned that you actually really enjoy playing football with the boys. Any plans to make this a brotherhood to get boys on board?
So, to be very honest, the men on the periphery, especially of our community, have been enablers. And I think a lot of the times people misunderstand that when we say it's exclusively a women's community, they think it's anti-men, which is not true. We do have the sisters and misters format that we have in football and in basketball, where men also get involved in the session.
As well, yeah.
And badminton as well. And it just ups the standard a little bit and encourages the women to sort of challenge themselves perhaps at a slightly faster, more competitive route.
Finally, do you have any closing comments and do you have any ultimate vision for Sisters in Sweat that you would like to share with us?
To be a household name eventually all over India. And the moment you think of women and wellness, you think of Sisters in Sweat.
I would echo exactly what Tanvi has to say. It really does have to be the Xerox of women's wellness.
Well, on that note, we're going to wrap up this interview. I wish you both all the very best with everything. Thank you both for being such great sports, and we hope Sisters in Sweat continues to encourage and impact the lives of more and more women, and I guess men now as well. Thank you everybody for watching. Stay fit and stay active. Oh God, I got scared.
If you think I talk a lot on camera, wait for her to come. By the way, I'm sorry I jumped into the men's thing a little.
I know, I was
that
going to be
person,
like,
I saw that. I
bro.
saw the expression. I was like, shit, I'm in flow right now.
This is what I want to do. Excuse me.